I got,
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, call the meeting to order, 9 o'clock. If you could, please mute your cell phones. Becky, will you do roll call?
I sure will. Jack Scrogstead.
Here.
Dean Friel.
Here.
Katie White.
Here.
Ron Gascoigne. Reed Acree. Ally Huss.
Here.
All right, public attendees, I see Greg is here and he provided us with a report for, Greg, would you like to talk about your report today, since you're here with us today?
I will hit some of the highlights, Jack. You can see that at the very top, ridership is continuing to grow. I think we're estimated just to be about the same as we were the previous fiscal year. So for FY25, we're looking at about 92 to 94,000 rides that we'll provide. The other piece that I wanted to highlight and extend as an invitation to this group, as well as the full county board, is we are holding an open house a week from this Wednesday. So it'll be on the 16th from 3 to 6 in the afternoon. We have not had an open house. I don't think probably for 3 to 5 years. And with the name change and that transition, we thought it was probably an appropriate time to also have an open house. So by all means, please stop out between those hours of 3 to 6 on the 16th. Other than that, Jack, I have nothing else.
Thank you again, as always. Any questions for Greg? Yes. Thanks, Greg. All right. Moving on is the approval of the minutes. If everyone has had a chance to take a look at it, is there any corrections or anything that need to be made on that? That was from the September 10th meeting. No corrections are made. It'll be standard as presented. Next is Dave Anderson. I don't see David here today, but his report is in the packet there for everyone to take a look at. He doesn't have any action items for this month. Jennifer, I don't see her here as well. Her and Sammy both have a report in the onboard. It'll be available to the public when that comes up. Wow, we're just flying through this. Okay. Jeremy, that brings you up really quick here. You got anything?
You guys are all looking fantastic today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You as well.
Thank you
as well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's always nice to be complimented on a Tuesday. If you outside, you're hearing some banging and some loud noises. What?
Say that again?
Yeah, exactly. They're working on the roof over our grand entrance there. As if you've noticed over time, there's been continual water damage. That's even after they painted, the water's still infiltrating. So we figured out why that is, and they're repairing that now. Another thing that you may or may not have noticed, just recently, we had tree service come out and really clean up the lawn here and take care of tree trimming, moving things up to standard height for public settings, as well as taking care of a couple dead trees. I don't know if you have a chance, but take a look out in front on the north side of the building, and it looks very beautiful. You could actually see the building, and I just something to be proud of is the building that we have here, and everybody's doing a great job. You will on Tuesday or on Thursday, if anybody wants to join, we obviously have finance and public or executive, but at our finance committee meeting, we will be presenting the levy and budget ordinance to go to exec and then to county board to be held over for the November meeting. So that'll be the first view of the actual ordinances in place. So if anybody wants to attend, please join us.
Okay. Any questions for Jeremy? Thank you, Jeremy. Believe it or not, Nancy, you're up next. Yeah, you just got here and it's like it's on you, spotlight.
Good morning. Sorry, it took me a few minutes. I wanted to collect just a few items to show the board. These are the mail-in ballots. And this is what my office is working on right now. This is today's batch. We've gotten these consistently for 5 days. So those are the returned vote by mail ballots, and then we're still getting the postcards back. So the girls have been extremely busy downstairs on the first floor because I only have 2 full-time girls and 1 part-time. And early voting is unbelievably busy. We're doing close to 100 early voters every day. So the office is very, very busy. As of last Friday, we had about 475 ballots. I'm guessing that's probably jumped up 400 more of that. We have had 2,232 ballots that were mailed out as of Friday at noon. And again, we're still getting these postcards. So if you know anyone that has these postcards, please tell them not to throw them in the garbage. I can't tell you how many people come in and say, oh, I just thought that was garbage and threw it in the garbage. This is that opt-out that will save the county a tremendous amount of money. And besides that, we held our election judge class that normally is here on the 3rd floor. And thanks to Jeremy, we had to move that. And with his help, we went to the historic theater because of the elevator situation. Average age of election judges is 70. So I wasn't comfortable not knowing if the elevator was going to work that day or not. So we moved that over there. And just FYI, going forward, I will not have it in the building any longer. We'll either have it somewhere else, the theater or the Elks. If you remember last April, we had to move it to we moved it over to the church because the elevator was completely down then. So 2 strikes and we're moving it permanently somewhere else. But Jeremy was unbelievably helpful, and we moved it Monday morning and the class was held Tuesday morning. So the girls jumped on the phone and got a hold of probably 99% of the election judges. So it went really smooth across the street there. And that's really about all I got going on in the election world. Any questions?
So would you say that your mail-in votes are up then?
Yes.
Assuming?
Yeah.
Good.
And then I'm sorry, I didn't bring the other stack. Then there's a stack this big of new registered voters
Oh.
that
okay.
mail those in. So that stacks like that. So again, like you said, they're dealing with they're dealing with postcards, they're dealing with early voters downstairs, and then new people registering to vote. So.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yep. So 4 weeks. From
Yes,
today.
it is coming down. Any questions for Nancy on? Yeah, go
Nancy,
ahead.
are those automatically read? I mean, how do you mail in ballot? How does once you open the envelope and take the ballot, I mean, is it?
Yeah,
on
if
a
you wanted to
machine to
look
be
really
read?
close at them, all of them that went out, they have a return label with, let's say, your address, Tom, and then there's a barcode. Okay, so then those get scanned when they come back so that we have in the system that their vote by mail ballot came back. So again, if they walk in the door and want to vote, it's going to pop up on our screen that they already handed in their vote by mail ballot. It's a huge discussion that we have every year at the conference about that. You know, like you said, integrity, everything else that, you know, if somebody does a vote by mail ballot, it gets lost in the mail. All those kind of things. But yes, that's what the barcode is for. And then, like I said, the system is what we use right now is really good with that. But yeah, that's how that works. You're welcome.
I just want to say thank you. We know you guys have a lot of work. You're
Katie.
understaffed, so we really appreciate it. There's probably nothing we can do, but lean on us if we can.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anything else? Yes, and I kudos that as well. Yes, you guys got a lot going on this time of year. So, all right.
Jack. Just
Oh,
wanna
go
make a
ahead, Keen.
comment.
Go ahead.
Nancy's office, we did the early voting down. And I gotta give you a comment to your people. And they were stacked up. They just come in after we got there, but they were efficient. And I don't know how they could be, but they were very polite and nice about everything and gave everybody, you know, really a good treatment and treated everybody very nice. and everybody walked out with a smile, I'll tell you.
Right, I appreciate that, Keen, because like you said, along with just that, there's so much other stress that's going on out there. And again, like you said, they're still calling to try to get more election judges. You know, we had probably approximately 25 new ones at the class, so that was huge. The class makes me nervous sometimes because several of them walk out and they go, "Oh my gosh, that was a lot." You know, because you take everything condensed into an hour class, you know, and again, I emphasize with anyone that's thinking that they want to become an election judge, if you are brand new, you would never, ever be put in a precinct that is filled with all new judges. We stagger them around to make sure that there was someone that has done this for 10 years or 3 years or whatever, because it is very overwhelming, your very first election day, especially the presidential, because the foot traffic is so high. Thanks, Keen. I appreciate that.
Okay, any other questions? All right, let's move on. Paul Gorski is not here. He provided a report via my email. We'll get that in by the county board meeting.
It's on board too.
What's that? It's on there now? Okay. So you guys can look at that whenever. Chris Tennyson, you're up so quickly, 10 minutes, and it's already ready for you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Very, very fast. Were you telling me I need to be quicker, Jack, or?
I don't know. I might break a record here today. I don't know.
My report, I did send it. It's a long one again, because we do have a lot going on at the ROE. I'll let you read through it, and you can always reach out to me with questions. Just a couple of highlights, something I'm excited about. You know, the regional superintendents, there's a number of things by statute we have to do. We have committees that work on health, life, safety, and our building inspections and on licensure. But something that we're not required to do, but we have a lot of us that are qualified to do, is to help schools with their safety plans and overall readiness for issues that could occur in a school in regards to, you know, an active shooter and other security issues. So we started a school safety committee. That's in that first paragraph, just explains a little bit about it. Myself and another retired police officer who's an assistant regional soup in the Charleston area, along with a security specialist who's the assistant regional soup in Peoria, got this started. So the three of us will chair this committee, and we've already had 2 meetings, and we're really looking forward to doing some work on getting some resources together for our districts to help with all things security related. So I'm excited about that endeavor, and we'll keep you posted on that. If you go through our report, you can see that we just had our annual Elevating Special Educators Network Summit. It was very well attended. We had over 100 administrators and educators, all special ed related, attend that. We had a great keynote speaker, and it was another good conference for our educators. If you're out and about on October 18th, you may want to swing by Sauk Valley Community College. This is a pretty big event. It's really grown for us, but we're going to have this is the 3rd year of it, our annual Pathway Playground, where we're going to have over 1,000 8th graders from our 3 counties attend basically a career fair. We've got a lot of companies registered, and we fill up the whole pretty much Sauk campus, and it gives the 8th graders a chance to look at potential careers and things that they may be interested in the area once they graduate and staying in our area, which is what we really stress. So if you're out and about on the 18th, stop by Sauk, it'd be great. Did want to let you know that this is kind of a Whiteside initiative, but I do update everyone on grants that we get. And we worked on another community partnership grant that we received. And because of that, it's for after-school programming in Whiteside. And we've opened up an after-school program for the students at Chandler Middle School in Sterling. We're hosting that now. And it's pretty well attended. It's hosted at the new Elevate Youth Center in Sterling. And we're working with the YMCA of Sterling Rock Falls on that. We've had a number of students attending that. I'm very happy about that. Our updated numbers are in there for Nexus and for Truancy. You can continue to check those monthly. Our education outreach program just continues to amaze me. We have a new administrator now, and she's picked up a year and a half into this, right where our retired administrator left off. And we have 87 active students now that we're working with to get their high school diploma that they never obtained when they were of the right age. And we just had our first graduate of the year get her high school diploma, and that's in the report. So excited about that, and hard to believe, but we're pretty much almost through the first quarter. And we've had a lot of good things going on at our school at Center for Change with our new principal and new staff. So check that part of the report out. Also, be happy to take any questions if anyone has any.
Any questions for Chris? Chris, again, thank you for everything you guys are doing over there for the kids, and especially those ones that They would need to get their GED. All that. Okay. All right. Jim Gorman is not here. Alice, would you like to share your report for zoning?
Sure. Good morning. Coming from the Zoning Board of Appeals, we have one petition, petition number 2416P1628 by Emma and Jacob Lytle. This is a petition to rezone. It was heard by the Zoning Board of Appeals on October 3rd, and it received a unanimous recommendation for approval of this petition to the county board. Going to the Zoning Board of Appeals, I have 3 petitions. The first one is 24P1631 by Sanjay Desai. This is a petition to rezone a parcel located on US Route 52 for the purpose of constructing and operating a restaurant/tea room with indoor-outdoor amusement, including but not limited to an electric go-kart track, arcade, mini golf, and/or golf simulation, bowling, and/or laser tag. The next petition is petition number 24P1632 by Jeff Lewis. This parcel is located on Forest Park Drive in Dixon, and he is seeking a variance from our bulk regulations for the purpose of adding on to an existing accessory building. The third petition is petition number 24P1633 by Anthony and Lisa Winstead. They own a parcel on Sterling Road, and they are seeking to rezone from R2 to Ag 1 for the purpose of raising, harvesting, consuming, and selling chicken, eggs, hogs, and vegetables. The parcel is 2 acres in size. Other action, we have nothing coming from the Planning Commission, and we also have nothing going to the Planning Commission this month. In other action, last month, Deputy Zoning Administrator Laura Mangrum and I were invited to speak at the legislative breakfast hosted by Lee County Farm Bureau. We discussed agricultural permits, clarified the proposed ordinance that would have allowed chickens in the R2 district and its lack of impact on the agricultural districts. We discussed the junk and junk vehicle program in the agricultural districts and the exclusion of farm machinery. Updates on wind and solar in Lee County and the impacts of the floodplain ordinance on the agricultural districts. Wiggins Solar LLC has submitted its application for building permit for a 2 megawatt community solar project to be sited on approximately 19 acres. This parcel is located just off of Burkett Road and is just south of Interstate 88. The zoning office recently collected the annual letter of credit administration fee from Big Sky Wind Project in the amount of $7,018. The South Dixon Solar Project, a 500 megawatt utility solar farm, is nearing the 3-year mark to be substantially underway. They have recently submitted a request for determination of substantially underway, and I will be reviewing that based on the previous determinations that have been made by the zoning office. I recently sent out to all county board members a recap of the wind and solar projects in Lee County. Currently, Lee County wind farms are producing approximately 650 megawatts. On the solar side, Lee County is producing 2 megawatts, but it does have 4 megawatts nearing completion of construction. And then we also have 2,015 megawatts under special use permit that have not yet obtained building permits. And I do have this in a handout form if anyone would like a copy. On October 1st and 2nd, Laura Mangrum and I attended the Illinois Renewable Energy Conference in Normal, Illinois. I attended on the 1st and Laura attended on the 2nd. Just some highlights from what I gathered on my day of that conference. In 2023, 85% of Illinois' renewable energy generation came from wind power. Illinois ranks 5th in the nation for wind production at 7,900 megawatts, with just over 8% of that total coming from Lee County. Illinois' best wind energy resources are found in the northern 1/3 of the state. In 2023, approximately 13% of Illinois' renewable energy came from solar power, and that includes utility, community, and residential solar. And approximately 3/5 of the state's solar generation came from utility solar facilities. During the month of September 24, the zoning office processed 64 building permits. We collected fees in the amount of $4,790.23. And then I also have Compliance Officer Jared Yeater here, and he will provide his update.
Hello. Since I was last here, I've only had 2 more complaints for junk properties. We're following up on the existing ones, which is mainly Nachusa and Woodland Shores is what I'm working on now. I did request that this sheriff's office write a citation to one of the property owners in Woodland Shores that is not cooperating. And then I'm going to request that they write a citation to somebody in Nachusa that's not responding to me. So that's only 2 out of 60 that we've probably done. So we are doing well at getting cooperation from majority of people. We met with the EPA Health Department. Alice and I did for a property on Route 30 over towards the Whiteside County line. The parcel that has the house on it, there's a couple different parcels there. The parcel with the house on it has become compliant. That has been a issue when I was even back on the sheriff's department for not being compliant. So it's the first in several years that that property now has become compliant. The other parcel next to that is in progress. I'm following up on 12 building permits. We do a pre-inspection to check the setbacks on the where the building's going to go up. And then we do kind of middle during construction visit, and then we do a final follow-up visit. So I'm working on 12 of those right now. We removed 2 more vehicles. I have written 6, did paperwork for junk titles for 6 more vehicles. And that person has to come in for 4 of them. There's one person that has to come in for 4 of them. The paperwork's here for them to pick up and they haven't been able to come in and get it. But once they do that, the salvage yards can come and take those vehicles. So that'll be a total of 6 since we last spoke. I think we're up to around 20 vehicles that we removed since I started doing this from different parcels, probably more. I don't have that number, but it's up there. Still working on a vendor list to help the owners find place, to help me and the owners find places that'll take certain items that are kind of not the norm. Like it's not hard to get rid of a vehicle necessarily by doing the junk titles and stuff. But when we run into things like a truck cab or something plastic or fiberglass, we were running into issues with disposing of them the most cost-effective way. The landfill takes them, but it can get costly with, let's say it's a boat, the motor's on it, that adds to the weight of it. I'm working with finding somebody that's willing to take that motor off and at least take care of that part of it, to take some of that weight off that boat. So there's a little more to it than just hauling the boat to the landfill. So I'm working on a vendor list, and every one of them has been willing to work with us and has also been willing to work with the property owners. And I am aware of one property owner that did call one of the vendors that are on the list, and they're handling it amongst themselves and not even involving us. So it's not taking the time away from me doing other things. So the vendor list is something that is much needed. So if anybody in here has any ideas of different people willing to take stuff legally or work with us, I'd be glad to. Alice and I would both be glad to have their name and number, and I'll reach out to them and find out what they can and can't do for us. We continue to work with the health department, the Illinois EPA, and other agencies that are needed for what we're doing or what we run into. We have run into properties that are burning illegally. So it kind of takes more time. You know, you go to work on one issue and then you see they're burning something they shouldn't be burning. That involves other agencies. Septic issues, even just little things, not little things, but things that just come up where people aren't compliant, but it's not a zoning issue. So then Alice and I discussed the next steps, and Alice has called the other agencies into the office, and we have a meeting, and I have attended the meetings with her to kind of see where we're needed or where I can be used. And then, so we're all on the same page. But that's all I have for you.
And I just want to clarify one thing regarding the IEPA. We don't contact them, they contact my office. And so if they're in the area, they sometimes let us know and sometimes we join them at the property. But we have, this year have not reached out to IEPA to bring them into an issue.
Okay, thank you. I just want to comment, Mr. Yater, I appreciate you going that extra mile by helping those constituents out there, finding the best way to do that. And I, not too many places will do that. They'll go that extra mile. Hey, I don't care how you do it, just as long as you get it done. Well, you're actually taking that extra mile and helping out our constituents, finding the best way to get rid of their items. So I do appreciate that. And I'm sure the rest of us do as well. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Alice.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I want to commend Alice's office because I know they've been working on this and obviously Mr. Yater's diligence in his work. I have spoke with Jared in the past and I know what his work ethics are. And he's got his heart and soul in this one. And he's obviously an asset to zoning.
I second
Thank
that as well. So, okay. All right. So we have 3 petitions going to the Zoning Board of Appeals. So is there a motion to move petition number 24P 1631 to the Executive Committee for inclusion on the October County Board agenda? First by Dean Friel, seconded by Ally. Any discussion on this particular one? No discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion passed. All right. Is there a motion to move petition 24P 1632 to the Executive Committee for inclusion on the October County Board agenda? First by Ally, second by Dean Friel. Any discussion on that? No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, signify by saying no. Motion carried. Petition number, is there a motion to move petition number 24P 1633 to the Executive Committee for inclusion on the October County Board agenda? First by Dean, second by Ally. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. All right, so we have one petition coming from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Is there a motion to move the resolution for petition number 24P 1628 to the Executive Committee for inclusion on the October County Board agenda? First by Dean Friel, second by Katie White. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. All right, we have no petitions going to the planning. We have no petitions coming from the Planning Commission. No new business. I don't see any executive. Is there a motion to adjourn? Ally first, Dean seconds it. There's no discussion. All's in favor? So I can say aye. Aye. Passed. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.